The moment my adopted sister pushed me from the ledge of that 99th floor penthouse, I watched my parents rush to shield her from the sight of my fall. In that split second of terminal velocity, everything became blindingly clear. All the love I'd craved, all the expectations I'd carried, they were nothing but a self-imposed cage. As the cage shattered against the pavement, I didn't find darkness. Instead, I woke up in a pool of sunlight, 15 years old again. This time, as I watched my parents bring Serena home for the first time, I didn't scream. I didn't beg for my place at the table. My parents' blatant favoritism, my brother's protective streak, my childhood sweetheart's gentle affection, they could have it all. I simply didn't care anymore. But why, this time, are they the ones on their knees, begging me to look at them? I stood at the top of the grand staircase, my fingers trailing over the cool, polished mahogany of the railing. Down in the foyer, my parents were ushering in a girl who looked like she'd been pulled from a Victorian tragedy. She wore a faded, oversized denim jacket and shifted her weight uneasily, her eyes darting around our limestone and marble entryway. Don't be afraid, Serena. This is your home now. My mother's voice was a whisper of silk and honey. She reached out, tucking a stray strand of hair behind the girl's ear with a tenderness that used to make my blood boil with jealousy. Now, I felt hollow. A vast, echoing nothingness. And this is your brother, Sebastian, my father introduced with a beaming smile. He took the train down from prep school just to meet you. Sebastian, usually the stoic, distant athlete, pulled a beautifully wrapped Tiffany blue box from his bag. Welcome to the family. A little something to start things off. His eyes, usually as cold as a winter Atlantic, were brimming with a protective warmth I'd spent years trying to earn. I watched the scene unfold like a play I'd already seen 1,000 times. No anger, no envy, just the cold recognition of a historical fact. Serena took the gift with trembling hands, her face still carrying a touch of childhood softness, her expression a perfect mask of gratitude and grit. She was a masterful actress. If I didn't know that 10 years from now, those same hands would shove me into the clouds, I might have been moved. Even the memory of the wind whistling past my ears as I fell didn't spike my heart rate. Did I hate her? I wasn't even sure. Hate requires energy. Maddie, honey, come down and say hi to your sister. My mother finally noticed me lurking in the shadows of the landing. I walked down the stairs, my footsteps silent on the runner. 4 pairs of eyes fixed on me. Hi, I said. My voice was flat, a stagnant pool. I didn't offer the hysterical, why is she here, or the shrill, this is my house, of my previous life. Those emotions had been cauterized. Serena seemed startled by my lack of heat. She shrunk back into the shadow of my mother's designer coat. Maddie, my mother sighed, her disappointment already surfacing. Serena's had a long journey. Can't you be a bit more welcoming? There isn't much to say. I turned and headed back up. Behind me, I heard my mother's embarrassed stage whisper. Don't mind her, Serena. Maddie's just sensitive. She's always been a bit difficult with strangers. I didn't bother looking back. Their explanations, their narratives, they were no longer my burden to carry. I pushed into my room and shut the door, the sounds of the happy family muffled by the heavy oak. Everything was as it was that summer I turned 15. The room was a sanctuary of high-end teen decor, but it felt like a hotel suite. School started in a week. I decided right then, I was going to boarding school. Knock, knock. It was Sebastian. He saw my open suitcase on the bed and his brow furrowed in confusion. Maddie, what are you doing? Packing for St. Jude's, I said, not looking up as I folded a sweater. I'm requesting a dorm. My brother stepped into the room, his voice dropping an octave. Because of Serena? I tucked the last of my shirts into the corner of the trunk. Sophomore year is critical for the Ivy track. I need to focus. I paused, then added, Serena can have this room. It's closer to the master suite anyway. In my last life, Serena had played a long game to get this room. First, she claimed she was afraid of the dark in the guest wing. Then she said she needed to be near mom and dad to feel like a real daughter. Finally, she'd cried, saying my room had the best morning light for her seasonal depression. Full story go.